Before we hit taxes, I just want to get your sense of the government shutdown and what you think may or may not happen here, given that it looks like we have a deal of some sort.
Well, certainly the news this morning suggests that Congress has a deal. I certainly hope if Congress has a deal, the president doesn't choose to shut the government down again. It didn't work out so well the last time. It's never worked out well. It's irresponsible. And if Congress has a deal and it's a fair deal, the president should sign it.
On the tax front, you know, we've been talking a lot about what feels like a lurch to the left by the Democratic Party, whether it's Elizabeth Warren's broader wealth tax, whether it's AOC's 70% tax, Bernie Sanders' 77% state tax. Marco Rubio commenting this morning, he's on the other side of this, but on buybacks. Not so far away, by the way, from where Schumer and Bernie Sanders were a week ago on buybacks. What do you think's happening here?
Look, I think there is something happening here, and it's reflected in the broad unhappiness with the tax bill that was enacted just under 2 years ago. It's not done great things for the economy. It hasn't unleashed big investment. It hasn't produced great jobs for people. And it has produced things like buybacks. Now, it's not a big surprise to me. I think I sat here on this show and predicted that that would be what happened if you cut the capital gains rate as much as they did. The problem we have in the country is that we have growing income inequality. We have a fear that opportunity in the future is not going to be there for people to get into and stay in the middle class. And we have policies that aren't dealing with it.
But just to go back on a point, you're saying that you think it was unleashed by the tax changes of last year. I mean, I look at this as something that was unleashed by the Great Recession of over a decade ago.
That's a fair point.
And median housing income dropping pretty drastically. I look at this as more than a decade.
I agree with that, Becky, and I actually think if you look at the continuum, coming out of the financial crisis, the right government response would have been to do something to address the underlying problems of inequality. What we had was a policy that doubled down on inequality.
You mean by the Fed lowering rates and really creating an equity boom?
Look, I think that there's no question that low rates led to higher asset values, but it also helped to end the recession and avoid a depression.
Square this
and that created a lot of jobs.
Square this one piece of it. We are, and President Trump talked about it during the State of the Union, you look at the jobs numbers on a monthly basis, and you have to be awed, frankly.
Or take GDP.
I think it's hard not to be.
Unless 50% better than what you were able to do.
I'm trying to help you,
I know you
Joseph,
are. I know. But
so the question is, given where we are in the economy,
is it a lag effect for Cash for Clunkers? You guys did this?
I'm going to surprise you, Joe. When you throw a huge amount of stimulus on a growing economy, it should be no surprise that you get some short-term bump in
what happened?
GDP.
You threw $800 billion at it, and nothing happened.
And we didn't have a depression. We ended a recession, and we started a recovery that hasn't ended yet. It's the longest recovery in history.
You really are going to look at GDP. I mean, you never had a year of 3%. It probably is going to be 3%. You don't think any of this is from deregulation and from tax reform? Do you think this is a delayed effect of your policies in the Obama administration? Look, can you really say that to me?
I do believe we left an economy that was strong, and the continued strength of that economy is something that could have been predicted. I actually think the risks in this economy for the moment are self-inflicted. I mean, just listen to the things you're talking about.
No, I know.
Confidence in the economy because of government shutdowns. Confidence in the economy because of a war with China. Confidence in the economy because...
You saw a 16-year high on consumer, on their feelings about the future. You saw that yesterday, right? How positive they are about their economic future?
Did I mishear you this morning saying that the market is up because the government looks like it's not going to shut down?
No, I know, but just purely in the most recent polls, that people feeling very good about their financial future right now. Much better than they did during the Obama
years. I think what you're seeing in the United States, in Europe, and a lot of parts of the world is that people are worried about the future, and it's reflected in questioning institutions, questioning democratic processes, questioning free markets. I believe in democracy, and I believe in the free market.
Do you believe in the Green New Deal?
So I think that the combination of things, from the Green New Deal to some of the tax proposals that are out there...
You would sign on for that?
Let me speak for myself, Jim.
Okay.
I think that there's an important debate going on right now, which, in my view, ought to be about how do we have a fair system, how do we have a system that addresses the needs of the country, things like infrastructure, apprenticeship, childcare, and how do we do it in a way that's fiscally responsible? Now, I don't know whether any one of these proposals will answer all of those questions. I'm glad people are asking them.